there are aliens among us. No, I'm not talking about the ones in outer space. This is not a speech about Roswell or Area 51. In fact, I'm talking about illegal immigrants, people who choose to come to our nation, live in our country, and not follow our rules. Many begin the process into permanent citizenship legally, but do not follow through the process that is laid out before them by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, also called the USCIS. If these people don't want to follow the rules and regulations of our land, why should we be footing the bill for their expenses? I know that naturalization is not quick, cheap, or easy, but everyone is under the law. They need to follow the rules. According to the Pew Hispanic Center, more than 10 million illegal aliens live within the United States borders today. This is increased from the 3.5 million people that lived within our borders illegally only a decade and a half ago. The Federation for American Immigration Reform estimates that Oregon State alone is the residence of 170,000 illegal immigrants that cost the taxpayers of that state $1 billion annually. The unemployment rate is affected too, on top of the direct financial burden that this causes. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that in July of 2013, 7.4% of the United States public is without jobs. Yet 7 million illegal aliens have part-time or full-time employment. This is according to the Center for Immigration Services. Naturalization may not be cheap, but it needs to be taken care of. The USCIS fees amount to $680, covering green cards, fingerprinting, photo IDs, documentation, and the salaries of the USCIS agents that go through the people. The cost only increases with special needs, such as adult classes that help them with their English and civic skills that they'll be tested upon before they take their pledge of oath, and also for attorney fees to help the permanent residents to understand the documents that are being handed to them and how to fill them out. Time is also an obstacle for naturalization process. It takes, on average, 1 to 22 years to process a green card. 90% of permanent residents live continuously in the United States for 5 years. As a stipulation, they need to limit their trips, and if their trips are outside the United States, then they need to be kept to under 6 months each. Other permanent residents may choose the path of love. If a person from another country falls in love and marries a citizen of our nation, it cuts off 2 years off of their continuous and permanent residence process because they get priority. But this also stipulates that they are married to that person and that they live with that person. Penalties for employers who hire aliens range from $250 to $2,000 per employee on the first offense and can max out at $10,000 per employee as well, as in per legalmatch.com. The fines need to be increased, though, to cover the costs that our taxpayers and our legal system are already incurring. And they should possibly include jail time for the employees who are here illegally and also for the employers. Employers can keep themselves out of trouble by going through Social Security insurance of good faith efforts. Like I said, the fines that are incurred upon the employers should be going towards the justice system and all the many people that they're prosecuting each year and cover the costs that taxpayers would otherwise pay. Maybe the USCIS should be considering how to fix their faulty system though. $680 is quite a bit of money for someone that is trying to make a living. And let's face it, many illegal immigrants work for less than a U.S. citizen would because it's the only option they have. So in those cases, I don't see why the USCIS couldn't do monthly payments as the person is doing their continuous resident process, or even deter payments until after the person reaches their citizenship status and can get a better job. Sponsored programs also need to be informed upon to the USCIS agents, because in certain places like Rutgers, New Jersey, the University of Eagleton has workshops that help people that are going through the naturalization process. They give them free legal consultations. They give them free adult classes, including English and civics both. And this saves them time, effort, and money on those people that might otherwise be frustrated. 80% of the cost of the $680 and it goes towards the USCIS fees. So if that amount is paying for the fees that are going towards the agency, why doesn't the USCIS hire more agents to fulfill the applications that are otherwise just piling up? It's unacceptable. The best results will, in my opinion, come from harsher consequences, including monetary or prison time, and aid to those who want to follow the law. Increase in consequences to wrongful presences or employers will increase U.S. citizen employment, decrease the cost to taxpayers, and decrease the national security threat by breaching the national borders. How often do we hear about that? And legal potential citizens should be given a quicker application process so that they can become valuable members of their communities, work legally, pay taxes, and decrease the burden of resource costs on the taxpayers, as well as showing an increased humanistic approach to other nations to help with our foreign policy. Illegal immigration